We've done some initial setup for our development environment in the previous episode of this series. And in this series, we're going to continue on some of the concepts. So we set up the default EJB SDK client, and we made a call to LiveCycle ES server. Now I have the server still up and running on my laptop, and we're going to change it now because we run into a problem sometimes when we have to make calls over a corporate firewall that the EJB, the JNP protocol starts to disintegrate or not get through based on how the firewalls are configured. And a lot of people have moved to the asynchronous messaging SOAP service, and this provides a very, very robust transport layer with a lot of extra features. So in order to take our previous sample and convert it to work with SOAP, it's very, very simple. Just to get started, I'll just review the code that we wrote in the first one, and then we'll see where the changes have been made. So here's my project. I've set it up with the connection properties, and in this case I've made a lot of imports. I've imported all of the Adobe LiveCycle client-side SDKs. The jar files are in my project folder. I have a lot of them. And we've set up the service client factory properties to use the EJB endpoint at JNP 1099. And when we make a call, it takes a document from this particular path, and it will convert it to a PDF-A document and dump it back in this path here. So if we run that, it works really well. I'm on the same machine, the local host, so this doesn't really have any problem getting through, and we can get a result and see the document that's been created. Now the problem comes when you start to go to an environment where you have to cross corporate firewalls, or when you have to get to a remote endpoint that's not within your domain. And this is where you may want to move to the SOAP protocol. So luckily, changing this to work on SOAP is very, very easy. I'll show you how. We just delete this line of code here. Let me make this a little bit larger so we can see what's going on. And let code complete guide us here. So we're going to save, instead of using the service client EJB endpoint, we're going to pick the SOAP endpoint. And the SOAP endpoint is going to have the URL. And in this case, it's HTTP localhost. Instead of port 1099, this now runs on port 8080. Our next one, we've got the DSC transport protocol set. Now in this case we're using the EJB protocol, and we're going to go back and set that to the SOAP protocol. There it is in our code complete. And the server type is the same, and our user name and password can remain exactly as they are. We'll just save this and shrink it down, and we'll give this a run. And it's returned the document. Let's run that again and just give it a different name than the ADC1 document, so we'll call it ADC2. Run that again. Now this time it runs a little bit faster, and we have our ADC2 PDF-A document. And you can see right here that it says you are viewing this document in PDF-A mode. So thanks to the work of Scott McDonald and Tyler Rushton and some of the other celebrities over on the LiveCycle ES2 team, this stuff is really easy to use. So if you're a Java developer, you're a little bit curious about LiveCycle ES, download it, contact us here at the show. We can get you a developer license DVD out there and point you at all these code samples. With these videos, you'll be able to be up and running in no time. Thank you.